How's the knee?
It's cool. Got treatment on it yesterday. See how I feel tomorrow.
You able to do stuff in practice today?
Yeah, we had practice today, so good one. I feel good. Good for us to reset,
The New York Knickerbockers are in shambles, and everybody's blaming Mr. Tom Thibodeau. I love how he's saying that his knee feels good. I love that he seems to be in good spirits. I hope it's nothing. But this is more about Thibs, because as a coach, you're supposed to save these players from themselves. And as a front office, you're supposed to save the coach from himself. So I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I don't see the Knicks winning a championship with Thibs. He's too stuck in his ways. He's a defensive-minded coach. Everybody knows that. He likes to stick with the same 7 guys throughout the entire game. So you're going to play a lot of minutes. And he really pulls that grit, that grime out of players. You know what I mean? For better or worse. The problem with that is, if you saw the game against the Celtics, Cat obviously hurt his knee in the fourth quarter. And there's no reason why he was let back into this game. And this is the problem with Thibs time and time again. He runs his players into the ground. And then when it comes playoff time, everybody's banged up and there's nobody there to make a real playoff push when you need it the most. Now I'm just here looking at Cat's big salary. There's a reason why the Wolves traded him away after they were doing so well last season. In the 2025-2026 season coming up, he's going to earn $53 million. Then the season after that, $57 million. And then the season after that, $61 million. And the Knicks are on the hook for all that. Can you imagine if your coach runs this guy into the ground and then you still have to pay him all that money? I don't want to talk about an Embiid situation because it's not that, but this and other reasons is why I think the Knicks are probably going to move on from Tom Thibodeau in the near future. Unless you guys win a chip this season, which, let's face it, that's not happening. I'm just here looking at old game footage from the 2012 playoffs.
Look, we're looking to sweep you guys. You wanted us. You were crying out that you bypassed the harder team in Miami Heat.
Rose came down bad on his left foot. See him holding on to his knee and down.
The culture loves Derrick Rose. We know what he was capable of, what he was going to look like. His ascension was meteoric. And then he injured his knee. The Chicago Bulls were losing to the Philadelphia 76ers by 12 points with about a minute and 20 seconds left in the game. It was out of reach. There was no chance Chicago was going to come back to that game. But Thibs still had Rose in the game. He popped his knee. And who's to say that wouldn't have happened later on in the future, maybe next season, who knows? Maybe his body would have gave out on him, but he did not have to be in that game, in that moment, in that time. There was no reason for it. And from then on, Thibs cannot escape the headlines that he gets, the titles that he gets for being a coach that really doesn't care about his players enough. When players are hurt, when players are banged up, he's still throwing them out there. And now our league is in a place where we rest our players too much. And there's an argument to say that these players are rested too long and too much, and that's why their bodies aren't building up the strength to really deal with a full NBA schedule. But in Thibs' case, it's completely different. It's the inverse. He runs guys ragged into the ground. And if I'm a Knicks fan, I'm looking at this situation with Karl Anthony Towns. Even though he did come back in the end, there was no reason why he should have been back in that game. And you got to look at him now and wonder, what if he doesn't play the next game? What if this turns into something more? We got to remember, on the same leg in 2024, Cat had a torn meniscus in that same left knee. And that's the same one that he's limping on when you see him walking off the court in the fourth quarter versus Boston. And it's severe enough that he goes back into the locker room. And when he comes back out, they're already down by 20. At that point, you sit him. The game's already out of reach. You wait until the next game. It's very similar to the Derrick Rose situation. And Thibs, just like most humans, we're creatures of habit, And he hasn't learned from any of his past situations, clearly. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Y'all think the Knicks can actually win a championship with Thibs, especially coaching the way that he does, running his players into the ground? You think this is going to age well, these decisions, or you think that they need to move on from him? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time.